You should have just finished learning about fractions on a number line. Now we're going to move on and talk about mixed numbers on a number line. In order to do that, I'm going to start with a rectangular model and then relate that to our number line. Our first mixed number that we're going to look at is 1 2/3. Let me get my pen out first. 1 2/3. In order to draw that as a rectangular model, first I need a hole. And I see that I need to cut that hole into thirds. And I'm going to go ahead and color in 3 out of the 3 pieces to get my hole. To get the 2/3, I'm going to draw another hole, cut that hole into thirds again, but this time I only need 2 out of my 3 pieces. That would be our rectangular model. To make the number line, I'm going to go ahead and draw my number line. I'm going to label the holes. 0, 1, 2. Since I'm working with thirds, I'm going to cut each hole into 3 equal pieces. 1, 2, and then 3. Again, 1, 2, and then 3. I should have 3 equal pieces. If I were counting on, I would go 1/3, 2/3, 1 hole. 1 1/3, 1 2/3, 2. I'm going to go ahead and write those in as well. 1/3, 2/3, 1 hole. 1 1/3, 1 2/3, 2 holes. Again, to get 1 2/3, I'm at the 1 and then I go 1/3, 2/3. That's where I land. Let's look at another mixed number. Let's look at 2 3/4. This time I know that I'm going to cut my holes into fourths. Starting with a rectangular model, I'm going to draw 1 hole, 2 holes, 3 holes. Ooh, almost ran out of room. Then I'm going to cut them into fourths. To get fourths, I like to do half and then 2 times on each side. Again, half and 2 times on each side. Half and 2 times on each side. I have 2 holes, so I'm going to color in 4/4 of my first hole, 4/4 of my second hole, but then I only need 3 out of 4 on my third hole. Remember, our goal is to draw a number line now. So let's draw the line and mark our holes. 0, 1, 2, 3. Again, we're working with fourths, so let's partition our holes into 4 equal pieces. To try to make this as equal as possible, I'm going to first draw half, and then I'm going to do 2 times on each side. I'm going to do half, and then I'm going to cut my half in half again to get fourths. Then I'm going to do half, and then cut that in half again. Watch me count my fourths. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 1 hole. 1 1/4, 1 2/4, 1 3/4, 2. 2 1/4, 2 2/4, 2 3/4, 3. I'm going to go ahead and write in those numbers for us so that we can follow along. It is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 1 hole. 1 1/4, 1 2/4, 1 3/4, 2. 2 1/4, 2 2/4, 2 3/4, 3. Now, if I'm looking to finally mark 2 3/4, I'm going to find the hole of 2 and count on 3/4. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. This is where I would want to mark that on my number line. All right, last example I'm going to do for you. Let's look at the fraction or the mixed number 3 3/5. Let's start with the model. a rectangular model. I'm going to cut each rectangular model into fifths. I know I need to draw 3 holes. And then I'm just going to need a little extra, so I'm going to go ahead and draw that 4th hole. I know that I'm cutting them into fifths, and fifths is a hard one to make equal groups, so try your best to make them as equal as possible, to make those equal partitions. Again, I need 5 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That one didn't get as good. All right, so I have fifths, but I have 3 holes. So my first hole is going to be 5 fifths. And my second hole, I'm going to color in all 5 fifths. My third hole, I'm going to color in all 5 fifths. But my third hole, I'm only going to color in 3 out of my 5 pieces. Now that I have my rectangular model, I can go ahead and show you that on a number line. Draw your line. Mark your holes. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, since we are working with fifths, I'm going to cut my holes into 5 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have fifths on my number line. Watch me practice counting this. 1 fifth, 2 fifths, 3 fifths, 4 fifths, 1 hole. 1 1 fifth, 1 2 fifths, 1 3 fifths, 1 4 fifths, 2. 2 1 fifth, 2 2 fifths, 2 3 fifths, 2 4 fifths, 3. Almost done. 3 1 fifth, 3 2 fifths, 3 3 fifths, 3 4 fifths, 4. That's a lot to count out loud. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to mark that number line. Again, I have 3 3 fifths. So find my hole of 3 and then count on 3 fifths. 1 fifth, 2 fifths, 3 fifths. I would mark right here would be 3 3 fifths.